Let me just remind you, God said, let us create someone in our image. The boy child was there. Why did the boy child come down? I know the boy child, the Kenyan boy child, doesn't like to share problems. Pressurized so much that you are dying inside. I welcome you to the platform for Boychild by Grandma Rose. This morning we are going to discuss the role of the boy child as intended by God and the society. When the first man, Adam, was created, there was some interaction that is very, very interesting. First of all, let's see first what God did before he came to Adam. On the first day, God said, let there be. And I want you to get that word, let there be. Let there be light and darkness. Day and night was separated. Second day, let there be the sky. And the sky was formed, and it was separated from the earth. And then he said, let there be dry land, the sea, the plants, and the trees. That was the third day. On the fourth day, he said, let there be the sun, the moon, and the stars. Fifth day, he created the creatures in the sea and any flying creature. And on the sixth day, he created the wild animals. But then he found it wasn't fit. He found it was not fit for there not to be someone to manage those animals. And this is when he created man. The creating of man is so interesting. And this is where I come to who the boy child is. When God said, let there be, he just said by word. But when he created man, Adam, he put his hands into work. He formed him from the soil of the ground. And then he molded him into the shape that he wanted. And then, something that is very, very interesting, he breathed his breath in him, and he became a living being. There is some uniqueness. He did not say, let there be, but he used his hands in the formation of man. He breathed his own breath in the boy child. Boy child, you are so very important. When you have God's breath in you, how do you feel? When you have the energy to walk back and forth, it makes you do all the activities that you do in a day. And when you know that you are holding God's breath, how do you feel as a boy child? God loved this first boy child so very much. When all the animals were created, they had no names. God brought them to Adam, one animal at a time. And he said, name these animals. The animals in the sky, the ones on land, and the ones in the sea. What is very interesting is that this was the first assignment that God gave man. The first homework that was done by the boy child. This boy child got 100%. God did not go back to renaming the animals. God did not say, you made a mistake on this animal. God did not say, give it another name. It is like God said, you have done a good job. Therefore, all the nations in this world, if we write the word in English, bring a horse, animals of the same kind, known as the horse, will be brought, because that was the work of Adam. What assignments has God given us? When God created Adam, and even after he had created the wife Eve, we see God visiting the Garden of Eden. And he would find Adam and Eve resting probably just under the trees. And he would come and fellowship with him. But on this particular day when he came, after Adam and Eve were cheated by the serpent, we find that the couple was hiding. In the same manner, we find him coming into the garden, calling out and asking, Adam, where are you? Can you imagine such a fellowship with a boy child? That God will come in the cool of the afternoon and visit you. Does God come to visit you? And when he does he find you? Seriously, does he find you? Are you hiding like Adam? Why are we not fulfilling our responsibilities? Probably we are not fulfilling our responsibilities because we are not close to God. When he comes to say hi, when he comes to bless us, when he comes to know how things are going, we are not available. And remember that before this, God had gifted Adam with the Garden of Eden. There are so many gifts that God gives us. We have so many talents, children. We have so many talents that we are wasting. Inside us, there is that potential that is waiting to be tapped just a little bit. In my other video where I asked, why are more men dying than women? And someone talked with me and he told me, I listened to your video. And I listened to all of it, and it has got very good information. But everything seems to be falling on the boy child. Like he's not trying, like he's not doing his best. But I'm telling you, Grandma Rose, things have changed. And let me give you a few pointers as to why the boy child is the way he is. We also have the downfall of Eve and Adam. The first thing that he did was listen to his wife. I can say that God is the one who connects you with the person that you have married or the person that you have called your wife. That spark that comes between the opposite sex, that tells you that this is the right person to live with. This is how God intended it to be. But sometimes, even with good intentions, it does not end up well. Adam was given the instructions by God. You know, when you love someone and when you have a soft spot for that person, you listen to them, and sometimes without reasoning. He is the one who had been given the instructions by God. Make sure that that tree in the center, you do not eat any of the fruits coming from it. So what happens? We find Eve saying, I was told that this fruit is good. Can you taste it? Adam did not ask, told by who? Did God tell you? Because she had not talked with God. So this is what I was told by this dignified boy child. And he told me, some of the downfall that is coming in our homes is being brought up by women. And I'm going like, what are you talking about? I thought the boy child wasn't trying enough, and that's why he has this downfall. And he said, sometimes they try, sometimes they are doing a really good job. And he was giving me an example of people that he knows that have had a downfall because of the women that they married as their partners for life. And he said, some of the men, when they get their salaries, they are bound to give every cent to their wives. What are these stories that I hear as your grandma? That some of the women, they have gone into witchcraft. Actually, yesterday someone told me that a certain man has left his home, and he was being asked, why should you leave your home at your age? You have got grown-up children. Why run away at this time? And he said, I found something in my pillow, something made with bones that looks like a skeleton. And I think my wife is doing witchcraft, and I can't stand it. Is it true that some of the women are going for this witchcraft and they are giving their husbands mixtures of things, and then they end up not being able to make the decisions that they should? They have educated their children, The children have now gone into jobs, or the children are independent. He had some property, maybe some land, and then all of a sudden he gets sick and he dies. That there are such places where you find that those men above middle age, most of them are dead with no particular reason why they are dying. Just a small sickness and then they are gone. I don't want to believe that. I read it. Someone had researched. Is this one of the reasons why the boy children are running away from home? Is that why they have gone into drugs and alcohol? Is it? It's really, really sad. What I have mentioned is not enough reason for the boy child not to try. I'm telling you, you have no excuse not to try. You cannot say, I'm not treated this way, I'm not treated the other way, because you have an option of speaking out. This is why you need counseling. You can even talk to a counselor. Try to work it out. Try to smoothen out those things. Don't agree to be pressurized so much that you are dying inside. I know we African people, we don't like counseling. I know the boy child, the Kenyan boy child, doesn't like to share problems. This is why it is killing you. The girl child. Since 1995, when they went for that feminism global meeting that was held in Beijing, where they concluded in the fourth conference about the equality of men and women in law and in practice. I hear that from that time, the government has forgotten the boy child. That's what I hear. The church has forgotten the boy child. Let me first of all say what the girl child was going through. Before this conference, where they secured the equality of men and women, there was FGM for the girl child. I'm so happy at my age I did not come across that, because my parents were really good and they guided us. But girls of my age and girls even younger, they were going through FGM. Girls were also not being taken to school because they were regarded as property. They were being married off. And therefore, some of the fathers did not see the need for taking them to school. Some girls were being married off young, between 12 and 15. And some of them would be married off to older men, maybe second, third, fourth wives. Some of the girls were being trafficked, human trafficking, South America, Asia, wherever. They were being taken sometimes to Western countries. And they would end up sometimes even in prostitution. The girl child had so many problems and so many dangers that were facing her. When she was uplifted, she was able to come up and to go to school. She was able to excel. She was able to work hard. She was able to pull herself to reach the level of the boy child. My question is, the boy child was there, and I, as the girl child, was trying to reach him. Why did the boy child come down? Why? Instead of going higher, why did he come down? Our fathers, please, mentor your boys. Character formation is not done by the government. Character formation is done right from your home, from the father and from the mother. Because we are crying for the generation that is upcoming, be present for your boy child. Talk to your boy child. Mold him into what you would like him to be. Be a good example of your son. Be a good example of the boy children around you. Because I saw that the boy children, they did not have as many problems to deal with as the girl children. Lack of jobs cannot just make you useless, because there are other things that you can do to make yourself somebody. It is not enough reason for you to go into drugs, to go into alcohol, to go into what we call sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle is when you stay. You have no goal, you have no plans, you have no future. Boy child, there is still time for you to pick up. When you talk about the role of the boy child as intended by God, let me tell you, that you scored 100%. That God gifted you the Garden of Eden and He has gifted you now. That God breathed life into you. His breath is in you. And when you look in the mirror, you say, oh, I was created in God's image. I look like God. Then I'm telling you, boy child, that you are going to make it. You are going to rise. If the girl child rose from where she was, we are also going to rise as boy children. Finally, let me say, pleading to our government, give the boy children a chance. Women have groups where they are given money or where they are funded by international bodies. In the small groups that we have, like in the community, if we want money from somewhere, the group cannot have more than 30% of the men. There are some institutions that lend money to women only, and then they take very minimal collateral. When I talk to the men, they say there is no place where they can just be guaranteed by another man. But the women can go without the collateral, and they can be guaranteed by another woman. The law also, it should look into the boy child, so that our boy child does not end up going to prison for petty offenses. The boy child should be heard. There should be somewhere. If someone takes all your insurance money, there should be a body to fight for that man, because he has the right to his money. That is the end of our program for today. Please like, follow, and subscribe to the platform for Boychild by Grandma Rose. Thank you and God bless you.